Hi, I'm Ellen McCauley, and we're at Pray It Out. We're talking about how we turn to food when we're stressed, and how we all so desperately seek peace in our life, the peace that comes from Christ and not from the Doritos. Because the Dorito comfort is transitory. It doesn't last, except here. It lasts here a long time. I want to talk tonight about simplifying our lives. And there's a few who are going, uh-oh, I just don't have time to go through my clutter. But there's a number of things we can do to simplify our lives that doesn't just relate to possessions. Living simply can help us. This talks about living primitively, going back to homegrown food and having less technology in our lives, moving more, breathing more. Talks about the primal blueprint. And it's talking about if we do simplify our food and eat less processed food, we will feel better, we'll be healthier. We need to get back to the basics. And we live in a culture that loves to complicate, stay up late, eat crap, guzzle caffeine, and wonder why we crash and recover multiple times a day. We surround ourselves with so many things that the clutter impairs our own ability to focus. We just are under so much stress. And I like this, self-chatter. We can simplify our self-chatter. I don't know about you guys, but my self-chatter is horrible. Horrible. I can be sitting here and you think I'm listening to you and I'm like going like this, and inside I'm going, I'll never get to my goal weight. This is terrible. And they're complaining about one lousy pound and they weigh 150 and I could just slap them right now. No, I really don't do that. I really don't do that. I'm kidding. But there's a heck of a lot of self-chatter, especially when I lay down at night. Like I lay down at night, what's the weather going to be tomorrow? Am I going to have trouble getting into work? And then what about the kids? And what about mom? What about Kathy? Oh my gosh, what if something happens to my mother? And then what about the what if that? And now I'm like, Jesus, I trust in you. Hail Mary. Unclutter the mind. Most of us have so much more than the majority of the world, much more than our primal ancestors, and yet we live with a misplaced sense of deprivation. Why don't I have a bigger 401k? Why don't I have new carpet in the living room instead of the orange carpet from the 70s? Which I do, by the way. Why don't I have this? Why don't I have this? Poor me, poor me. And when we really look at prioritizing what are the most important things in our lives, isn't it God, health, family, friends? Is the orange carpet in there anywhere? No. So why do I agonize about it? We give our possessions and our positions more power than they deserve in our life. And too often we accumulate instead of experience. My mother would say, we had this routine where once a week we clean our house, top to bottom, cleaning and washing. And she'd say, I wish I spent less time worried about cleaning and more about enjoying you kids and enjoying things. And I have to say, I learned a lot from her because we don't spend a heck of a lot of time cleaning. What it is mainly is it's presentable, it's neat if you came over, but don't examine, don't look in the corners and don't look over here. But I'd rather live life than clean 24/7, Now, could I hire a cleaning lady? Yes. Do I want to? No. So if anyone wants to clean my house for free, for good exercise, 468, I could give you my phone number. But the thing is, we're not talking about austerity here. I went to one friend's house once and I walked in and I thought it was a showroom for Raymore and Flanagan because nothing was on any dresser. Every drawer had the little socks here. Everything was folded like she was packing. Ever see those people who pack that looks like a professional? Her whole house was like that. Her cupboards, perfect. Everything was perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm not saying you have to be like that, but here's where I know that you're in trouble, if you can't find something. Because I can't tell you how many times I've said to Bob, I think it's in the black hole. And we have a black hole, and it's huge. And I'm talking important things, like the title to our cars and things of that nature. We're in a black hole. So we need to be more organized. If health is your number one priority, if I asked you right now to list your number one priorities, So let's say you say, well, God, because we all think we should probably say God, because we're Catholic, right? And we're in a pray it off group. So let's say we say it's God. So what are we doing for that number one priority? Are we going to church? Are we living our Christ-like life? Are we praying? Are we giving alms? Are we doing the things we're supposed to do? And let's say our number two one is health. Are we eating less? Are we moving more? We'll list our priorities, and then we have to list what are we doing for those priorities. We need to say, what do we like? Now, I can look at my house, and I can say to you right now, oh, I can't get rid of that because that's my grandma McCauley's, but this, that means nothing to me. I'm asking you to take a look at the clutter and get rid of the things that mean nothing to you. Donate it, give it away. We have to embrace simplicity as we pare down our lives to a point where we're not overwhelmed, diverted by our input, our stuff, our choices, our responsibilities. And then one of the books I'm reading every day, it says something like, give up a credit card. How many of us, and don't raise your hand, have debt? And I'm not talking about your mortgage, a car, college. I'm talking about, I really need 18 pairs of shoes. Here's my MasterCard. If we have credit cards to buy so many things that we really don't need, that's the kind of debt I'm talking about. So I want everyone to really think about what are the top 5 things in your life. And everything else we can simplify. I love this quote by Thoreau. I'm going to read it. I went into the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover I had not lived. I wanted to live deep and suck all the marrow of life. Boy, I like that. How about you guys? You want to suck the marrow out of life? Because I do. I do. I don't. So often I feel like I'm ticking the list. Okay, pay the bills, clean the house, do this, and I'm in my nightgown going, I'm too tired to suck any marrow out of life. Thoreau, I'm sorry. But the thing is, am I spending too much time trolling through Facebook, looking at all the cartoons or posts that people put on there? Am I spending too much time playing games or watching TV? I need to prioritize so I have more time to be sucking some marrow. And they talked about online banking here, saving time. Don't raise your hands, but I am fighting it. I'm fighting online banking. Is it because I'm not technology driven? No, I am. I just have this vision that I start doing online banking and somebody in East Podunk is going, I see your card, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to take all the money out of your account. It's a fear of identity theft that's keeping me writing those checks. And you might say, oh, that's ridiculous. Maybe it is, but I'm fighting it. I'm licking those stamps, and the next one, hire a cleaning service. All right, if you can afford it, do it. Hire a nanny. Well, if anyone wants to come over and take care of Bob, I would be more than happy to hire a nanny for him. Also, reducing debt. This is huge, and we started it a few years ago with Pray It Off. We took a look at everything we had, we consolidated. If you haven't consolidated your loans, go to Empower. Sorry, Mark, I know you're, or Salve Bank. Go to either one of them, Salve Bank or Empower. They're both great places. And consolidate your loans. It's the best thing you can possibly do, and we're paying so much less. Also, this whole decluttering, to live a more balanced, deliberate, and thoughtful life. When we went to the safe and got my baptismal certificate, I knew right where it was. I knew it was in the safe, and it is. Isn't it nice to say, I'd like to get this out? Boom. And then you discover things. I told you, when I got rid of those 9 boxes of books to Bishop Ludden, I found books that I'm enjoying so much that were buried in the rubble of too many Stuart Woods books that I never was going to read, or Robert Cray books that I can get out of the library. You will uncover treasures. It'll be like going on the greatest treasure hunt ever in your own house. Also, the stress that we have. Does anyone ever feel stress from clutter?
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. And does anyone ever feel peace when you've done a major project and you stand back and go, oh my gosh, that's so gorgeous, and you want to look and look? Keep it that way though. Don't go messing it up again. Also, one of the things I think, one of the reasons why I have a lot of stuff is I found myself meaning. I grew up in such poverty. You know, I joked last week about having 4 bathrooms. I grew up, we had 1 bathroom, 5 people, and my father was the boss. And if you were in there and you wanted to get in, you had to hurry, whatever it was you were doing, and get out fast. We took a bath once a week, whether we needed it or not. And now I'm like, hey, you know, I'm going to keep this because I have it. You know, I don't have to define myself by a home or define myself by possessions. Also, one of the things it talked about is turning off your cell phone and don't text at meals. I do not allow my children to text at meals. Their cell phones are not there. It's a rule. And guess who makes the rules in your house? You do at your house. And if they say, well, I'm waiting for a plastic surgeon to call me about experimental surgery, then you can let them have the phone. But if it's just your regular, they're just texting, you make the rules. Also, work-free vacations. Don't take a call from work. These are some just really nice tips. Also, we tape everything on TV. We watch nothing live. And we fast forward through the commercials. Commercials can get you in trouble because you think of the food, you think of buying things. We tape everything. Also, let go of the myth of perfection. Your house will never be perfect. You will never be perfect. Can you believe that? We're never going to be perfect. That's just true. You say, you look at something, you go, is this necessary? I guess I need to hang on to my cell phone. But guess how many pens I probably have at home? I probably have 1,000 pens. Literally, yeah, a lot of pens. I don't need them all. Because here's something else. Somebody will say, hey, I'm getting rid of these 500 pens because it got the wrong phone number on it. I guess I'll just throw them away. And I go, no, don't throw them away. I'll take them. So sometimes you got to say, oh, okay, fine. Or now what I need to do is bring them here and let you guys all have 1,000 pens. Okay. What's important is, are people important or is your stuff important? We're going to stop right there, Bob.